You already know who it is. Part 4.
Technical difficulties.
We're amateurs to this at first, so
Very
bear
big
with
amateurs.
us. Sorry about this.
So we were on number 2.
Yeah, Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs, the biggest disappointments. Watch Dogs, that was my number 2 as well. Watch Dogs, not a very good game. They advertised something else. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
You know, we got a game that didn't look like it was advertised, not for Xbox One anyways. We got a game that really isn't innovative like it said it was trying to be. You know, it's just basic. I mean, yeah, you got your cell phone and you can do stuff, but it feels more gimmicky than anything. It feels like a gimmick rather than a gameplay mechanic. And it's just, you know, it's not a good game, man. The main character is a dumbass and he's boring as shit. It's like,
yeah. Yeah, I can't talk much about it. I didn't play it just because, you know.
I can speak from experience. I played a good hour, 2 hours of it, and if it gets better, whatever, fuck that game. If you're not good within the first 2 hours, I'm not gonna fuck with you. There's no point with that. You know, the main character was boring. The gameplay mechanics really bland. It was just a really, really average game, and because it was so average, that's what makes it so disappointing. Not necessarily a bad game. It's just so painfully average, you know?
Yeah, and it's just, you know, also I think what happened was, if it wasn't so, you know, hyped up as it was, it probably wouldn't have been getting all these, you know, such bad reviews from people just because it was really hyped up by a ton of people. Well, people were expecting a lot.
Yeah, they showed us a lot.
It's like when you're going into a movie, you know, you're so excited for it, and you walk into the theater just thinking like, what the fuck was that? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, everything from the trailer wasn't, you know, it was what the movie was. It's just you felt like you got your money gypped. You know, like that's not what you paid for.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Watch Dogs, disappointment 2014.
I would thumbs down it. It's not. I wouldn't pick it up.
Now this is our we have this at number 1. Now a lot of there's some people out there.
This is mixed.
Yeah, love this game. If you either love it or you hate it, essentially. Made by Bungie, Destiny.
Yeah,
so
Destiny.
And here's why it's a big disappointment for both of us. I believe I can speak for both of us on this part. The story. It's it's a Bungie made game. Now given that all the people initially who had made Halo from Bungie moved on to 343 Industries, so it's not essentially the same Bungie that gave us Halo, but it's still Bungie. They still have that name. And I was expecting an awesome story, and didn't get that from the game whatsoever. Very repetitive, very
repetitive, very grindy. If you like grinding, maybe this is your game, but
not for us.
We're into good games, not games where you fucking grind. And it was just very, very disappointing overall. And I can't say I hated it, but I can definitely say that I liked it the first hour, and then as I kept playing, I realized that this game has no depth. This game has zero depth.
Which is unfortunate because it's a beautiful world. It's
an awesome world that I would love to explore more, but it's just didn't deliver. It really, really didn't deliver on story. Don't get us wrong. The gameplay, the shooting.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a great shooter.
That's why
great shooter. Perfect shooter. It's got awesome multiplayer, but again, a game that's so built us up on the story and how you can play with your friends and how it would be awesome exploring this world with your friends. It feels like, again, that this game is just a really big grind with your friends, and that's not.
Yeah, it feels
fun.
It feels like you're playing with no end goal. There's no. You're not trying to.
You're just killing shit forever, and it's not fun. And also, I wanted to touch on this. There was a lot of leaked stuff, and there was a lot of information, being passed on from person to person, gamer to gamer, that there was more story for this game, that there was a lot more story for this game, and that they just cut it out, and they
which is
made
the expansion packs they're coming out with, which I believe is $40 for both of them.
And I even heard the Dark Below came out, and I even heard people are saying that it's still really, really grindy. They haven't really done anything different, and I think that knowing that there was more story that was cut out of it. I don't understand if it was corporate. I don't understand who made that decision, but I think it really ruined this game because I was really expecting a step in a big step into a new game that was going to be like the next Halo. This was nowhere near the next Halo. This was not a step in any direction. This was just an average MMO grind. And it was just,
It's just it's a big grind for us, and I know a lot of people feel differently about it. They try telling us that there is a story to it. You just need to play more, whatever nonsense. But
it's not. But
it's really.
If I have
really
to go,
nuts.
you got Peter Dinklage as the robot.
Yeah.
You got the ghost. The ghost is what they're called. If I have to go somewhere, Peter Dinklage, the ghost, downloads something for 5 minutes, and I fend off a horde, and I literally do that 15, 20 times per world, per mission. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's insane. That I don't want to do these quests where it's basically horde mode, where your ghost downloads something and you kill enemies, and you go somewhere else, your ghost downloads something, you kill enemies. That's boring. That's not fun.
It seems like he's very lazy on the developer side.
Very.
Just unfortunate, very disappointing.
But the shooting in the game, as a first-person shooter,
is fantastic.
Great.
Good.
And the multiplayer is great. I really, really love the multiplayer. That's why I played it for, longer than, or as long as I did, because I love the multiplayer. I really, really like the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing I'd like to touch up upon before we finish, I guess our sort of mini review for Destiny, or Disappointment, was the reward system in that game. A lot of people pissed off about the reward system.
It's broken. It's not.
Yeah, the looting system, I guess maybe I should say.
Yeah.
So from what I hear is that you could be playing a multiplayer match, or you and a bunch of your friends could be doing, a level 28 raid, whatever it is, and you can have the highest kill death ratio, highest kills, assists, whatever it is, and you end up getting
nothing or something.
You end up getting some, shitty common weapon, whatever, while your friend over there gets some, super rare badass.
Yeah,
weapon.
while your friend gets 0 kills. Doesn't help the team out at all. Dies a bunch of times. He could get the best equipment.
Completely random.
That's, that's dumb. That's completely stupid. That completely ruins the whole point of raiding or strikes. Like, I don't want to do these things if I'm not going to be rewarded, while some asshole who didn't help is rewarded.
Right. So that's just a disappointment. It's like a random drop. Just a random weapon drop for anyone, and. You don't want to see that in video games, because you want to have a reason to be good at the game.
I want to be rewarded.
Exactly.
And I'm not rewarded with this game. I feel like it's a huge grind, and I feel like it's not worth the grind.
Right. So Destiny, our biggest disappointment for 2014.
Destiny, our biggest disappointment. Another one I forgot to mention was Far Cry 4. Fuck Far Cry 4. That's a rehash of Far Cry 3 with not as good story, and I just did not like Far Cry 4. He really loved Far Cry 4, and I feel like I just had to mention it real quick, because I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree, but Far Cry 4 to me was a rehash of Far Cry 3 with less story. It had a great main villain, and this pissed me off. It had a great main villain that was barely in the game.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that.
Barely in the great villain.
Awesome.
Great villain. Barely in the game.
Yeah, you don't see him toward the end of the game.
That's what made me love Far Cry 3 was Boss, and this connection between the main character and Boss. And instead, in this game, what's your guy's name? Kate?
Your main character's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. Like K, something with a K. I don't remember, honestly.
I don't know if it's with a K, but I know it's some initial. But, he's boring. I don't care enough about what he has to say. He's coming to deliver his mother's ashes, but he's not really... Like in Far Cry 3, you were some dumbass college kid, We're exploring, we're getting drunk, we're having fun. And then you get fucking kidnapped and your friends are being killed right in front of you. That's awesome. I'm immediately pulled in. This guy coming to spread his mom's ashes and then suddenly realizes he has to be the hero... I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in these basic hero characters anymore, because, I want to see characters with depth. I want to see people who grab me instead of me having to just like them because they are the hero.
Yeah, you want to feel connection with the main character you're playing.
Yes.
So those were our biggest disappointments 2014, honorable mentions, and our top 5 in 2014. Mm-hmm. Overall, I'd say 2014 is a pretty good year for gaming.
I think so too. It was a good game. It was a good year for gaming.
It's good. It's good to see, because you want, as the years go by, for the gaming industry, you want to see it progress, and you want to see more and more and better value games.
Yeah, definitely.
So
more bang for your buck, especially since we got the next gen, we got the Xbox One, we got the PS4,
and this is the first essentially full year for next gen. So 2015 it'd be the second year for next gen. So only better things from here, So,
hopefully.
The beginning of 2014 was a little dry, but once we got into the fall, when all the big games start coming out, a lot of good games. So
definitely. I mean, it was just, what else can we say? I mean, I think this year was, since this is the first year, right? First year for Xbox One.
Right.
This is the first year for Xbox One. I do feel like there wasn't a lot of necessarily next gen games, like where this is the game to go out and buy an Xbox One. But we did buy an Xbox One, and there are a lot of great games on the Xbox One. But I feel like overall, 2015 is going to be a much better year because I think they're going to be making more steps towards actual next gen.
Right.
Yeah,
in last gen, 360 and PS3. That's getting further and further away.
Yeah.
So developers are going to stop producing for those games and
And
focus
it's
onto next generation consoles, or say maybe current gen probably. So,
yeah. I mean, so
overall,
that's it.
good year for 2014.
Thumbs up, 2014.
We'll have a next podcast video out sometime soon. No guaranteed date. Hopefully, go better than this one. We can give you one video instead of 4 individual parts.
Yeah,
but,
we're gonna try to. This channel, we want to bring. We want to bring in Let's Plays. God, dude, you're gonna.